More bad news for Jessica's party. NBC's data guy, Steve Kornacki, is warning Democrats that the midterms won't be like Trump's first term.
One of the things we saw in Trump's first term, Republicans had a bad midterm. They lost control of the House in 2018. They're trying to avoid that next year. One of the things they're hoping will be different this time, and our poll confirms it continues to be the case right here. The Democratic Party is less popular than the Republican Party. Neither's doing great, but the Democrats more unpopular. We did not see that during Trump's first term. We are seeing that during Trump's second term.
But can the commie cavalry save the day? Bernie and AOC teaming up with Zoran the Destroyer over the weekend. Watch this.
I find it hard to understand how the major Democratic leaders in New York State are not supporting the Democratic candidate. Democratic leaders would be jumping up and down. This is our guy. So we got another fight on our hands, and that is the future of the Democratic Party.
All right, so Dana, the unpopularity of the Democrats combined with this fracture they have with the far left, how does that shape up for the future for the Democrat Party?
It's a calamity. And I don't
Watch your mouth.
That's a big word, I know, for a Monday. So you know things are bleak when even the Washington Post news side said the Democrats are leaderless. And that is just the truth. And I know that it's true that they always go through every party goes through this for a while, but they're losing on every which way you turn around. Now, that's not necessarily true. And I know that they won the state representative case in.
I haven't even said anything yet.
I know what you're going to say. But they won that off-year election in Iowa.
But look at the polling.
That's literally what Kornacki does, that he led the segment with.
Yes, and they're less popular than ever. And I think the other thing is that, one, it's clear that the results from the Biden administration are continuing to have an effect. Immigration, soft on crime policies, spending $8 billion to build 8 EV stations when you could have been spending it somewhere else. So now you take the border issue that President Trump solves, but you still have the lingering effects of all the border problems continuing. Then President Trump adds another layer. He says, all right, I'm going to focus on crime. And the Democrat says, there's no crime. Let us show you 25,000 statistics to show that crime is down. Meanwhile, people are saying, but crime here and crime there and crime. And they don't know how to get up and say, you're right, and do something like Bill Clinton did. How do you think Mark Penn helped Bill Clinton win again for re-election? He said, you know what? We are failing everywhere. What America wants is the voters want somebody who is weak. They will vote for weak over strong every time. Let's think about 2004 re-election. We're in the middle of a war, right? It's after 9/11. The people ultimately decided that John Kerry was weaker on defending the country than President Bush was. And that's what happens. So I think that this whole idea that the Republicans can use Mamdani as this foil and say, oh, wow, so Abigail Spanberger, thank you. How do you feel about this on Mamdani? What about this? What's that guy's name down in New Jersey? Mikey Sherrill. It's not a guy, it's a girl. Mikey Sherrill. How do you feel about Mamdani? Though they might still win their elections, but the rest of these characters, there's going to be so much money spent about Mamdani saying, I know that socialized grocery stores didn't work anywhere else, but trust me, in my early 30s, I will bring a successful free grocery store to your neighborhood. Give me a break.
Free groceries, Greg. It's all you've ever wanted.
It's always been free for me. I walk in any store, people just throw food at me. It's incredible. Tomatoes, oranges,
eggs,
half-gallon jugs of milk. You know, this Democratic Party is like me freshman year in college when I got dumped by my girlfriend. I was an obnoxious drunk. And then I looked and I saw, well, what was she going for? And this guy was in shape. He was a Sigma Nu, which I think or Fiji. And I'm like, you know what? I got to get in shape. I got to start being what people want, right? I got to cut back on the booze, start eating better, get in shape. The Democrat Party has to look in the mirror and figure out what is wrong. Trump could help them. Trump could save the Democratic Party if they let him. He's got the common sense lane. If you keep refusing to, and by the way, he wants to share the lane. Anytime anybody sticks out their hand to him, he grabs it. So if you refuse that, then you're going to be on the outside, always looking in. And it's like you said, it goes back to the A block, crime. It's like, this is an area where if you continue to mention the same woke pathologies, racial injustice, equity, and that stuff, you're done. You're toast. And you deserve to die. You deserve to die. Because you keep lecturing us on why one group's problems matter more than ours. We don't listen to it anymore. You guys have completely lost. I'm sorry, Jessica, and I include you into this, even though you're a dear friend. Your party has lost all credibility because you lied to us about so many things. And if you don't repudiate your past, you're going to commit it again and again and again. So we're waiting for you guys to say, look, we screwed up. That's all I ask.
Will you say that, Jessica? Will you say that we screwed up?
People have been saying that left, right, and center.
Will
you just won't accept it.
Will you?
But Biden,
Say it.
Biden was
Edible arrangement.
You can just keep moving the goalposts, and we'll see what happens when the midterm comes. I don't want to be embarrassed like my dear friend Jesse and do any big predictions of what's to come.
I am
but
incapable of being embarrassed.
You were.
That is your superpower.
It's a gift.
But there are
I wish I had.
two main indicators for why I think Steve Kornacki is wrong about what's going to happen in the midterms. The first is that J.D. Vance is saying himself that the Republicans are going to lose, telling Laura Trump on Saturday. The bad news is one of the pollsters once told me that anger usually wins midterm elections. And because we've done so much of what we said we were going to do, people are angry. So thank you, JD. The second one is that the big, beautiful bill has an approval rating of -22. And the Republicans had to have an emergency meeting last week with Tony Fabrizio, their pollster, to work on a rebrand. So they want to call it now the Working Families Tax Credit Bill or something like that. But people know what it is. It's a tax break for the rich, and they're going to take away your health care.
You mean like the Inflation Reduction Act?
It doesn't matter. This is the
Remember
thing.
that?
See, you won in 2024. Act like it. You have a new election coming. You have to defend yourself each time. We lost in 2024. That's why I say we've been admitting it. Biden was too old. He shouldn't have been the candidate. People chose Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. We're working on identity politics. We're working on good economic policy. The voters are saying that they are not into this. He is underwater in every single major category. -2 on crime, -6 on border security, -14 deportation.
What are you above water on?
Democrats
-22
are worse,
inflation.
Jessica. That's the point of the segment.
No, it is a
as terrible as you
referendum
think that
on the
Republicans are, the
administration.
Democrats are even worse.
No,
we have to
just
get
in-
Paul in. We have to get Paul in.
Well, I was going to say exactly what you just said. So
What I just said?
What he just said. Look, they can run on one thing: change. That's it. You're going to hear a lot of that. It's time for a change. Time for a change. What does the change look like? We don't seem to be getting it. Right now, I got a couple of questions. Number one, government-run grocery stores, right? Will we be allowed to shoplift? All right. I mean, that's a reasonable question under the conditions that they've created, right?
Provided there's something worth stealing.
Is everything going to be locked up?
Yeah.
Like it is now? I mean, what's the story going to be? This
not
is
all free.
like being told, hey, I got a headache. What could be worse than this? I can't get rid of this headache. Got it for 3 days. You go to the doctor. He says, I got bad news for you. You got brain cancer. Yeah. That's the difference between what's going on right now. You may not love everything and how it's going right now, but then you look at the alternative and you say, wait a minute, you're going to tell me that the Zoran Mamdanis of the world are going to run this? And Jessica, that's where the party is. You can roll your eyes, but that's where you guys are right now, man. I mean, you and I both know. I both know that Sanders was supposed to be the nominee. This is where the party is right now. So there's two. One last quick question here. Excuse me. Crime. I get that. Donald Trump's doing something else, and the left better wake up to it because he's going to eat your lunch on this, which is fentanyl. He's doing all of this stuff relative to Venezuela. He's instituting something called the Trump doctrine. Who's named that? I've named it. And it is a continuation of the Monroe Doctrine. Yeah. Takes us back to 1830s. But he is setting a red line, saying this is our backyard, this is our hemisphere. We don't want you messing around here. And what he's doing is he's going to stop the flow of fentanyl. That's 100,000 deaths every year. It implicates China. It implicates Cuba. This is a big point to run on. It seems to be under the radar. Pam Bondi took down a big human trafficking ring the other day from Cuba, which is going to be another part of the dominoes that go here. Yep. He's starting to control the Western Hemisphere, our part of the Western Hemisphere. The left never even looked at this. China's been eating our lunch down there for a long time. Expect to hear about that at the midterms.
All right, well said, Paul.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.